10 years ago, you couldn't find organic food in stores. Now people demand it. It's supplanting, all the other GMO stuff. So the government's moving in, saying they don't want you to have to label GMO or GMO salmon. It's the same thing on bisphenol A being pulled out all over the place. We're going to talk about it with Dr. Mercola in just a minute. Real fast, Charlotte Iserby, former head of policy at the Department of Education, she is pretty much retired. She wrote this big phone book-size book, The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America, that has all the government documents about the plan that goes back almost 100 years to slowly dumb down our society, to break up the family. You see how successful it is. She has the smoking guns. We got like 700 of these and bought out everything she had, and they sold out. And she said, well, I was going to keep a couple hundred of these to give to friends and family, but she called me and said, I'm getting so many calls asking for them since you sold out. I don't want to deal with it. I'm selling them to you. So those are now being shipped to us. We've got a little under 200 left. If you want to order them, they're at Infowars.com right now. They are now officially out of print. By the way, these things on Amazon are selling for $200 to $900 a piece. I don't know why. We were selling them for $40 and people were flipping out. So the point is, it's got to be one of the hottest out-of-print books out there. And I just wanted to get her back on the show and called her. And she said, hey, I'm done. So if you want to buy them, go ahead. How many do you want? And I said, well, give them all to me. I'll sell them over the next year. Well, it took less than 24 hours. So she scrounged up a little under 200 and some more hardcovers. But we're going to hold off until next week with those because they're signed. But the soft covers right now, Deliberate Dumbing Down of America, available at Infowars.com or by calling 888-253-3139 if you want to get those. Also, I want to tell you about one of our great sponsors. It's eFoodsDirect.com, the super high-quality, non-GMO, non-hybrid, storable foods company. It lasts more than 10 years in climate control, 10 years in non-climate control like my garage. They've got a bunch of special diets, all sorts of gourmet, freeze-dried, and they got it all, and they're patriots, and they are the name in storable foods, and their food is made fresh every week, not 10-year-old junk like a lot of other companies. So this is where I get my storable food, eFoodsDirect.com or 800-409-5633, 800-409-5633, or eFoodsDirect.com. You'll never stand in a bread line if you have your own bread. It is so important for people to get into the position of getting self-sufficient. And along that same line, finally, before we go to Dr. Mercola, I'm proud to welcome this wonderful sponsor, a well-known company in the preparedness field for, well, now right at 10 years. You can check them out at www.prepared.pro. That's Prepared.pro, prepared.pro. You can also get to their store at theprisonplanet.com, where we have a banner on the right-hand side of the page. These folks have been in the readiness business for 10 years. They're fond of saying they're in the business of steel-plated peace of mind. They got a lot of amazing stuff on the site. I have even bought some things off their site. They sell everything you need to be more ready for what's coming down the pike. Well, it's already here. Survival gear, supplies, even steel-plated underground shelters and safe rooms. Tell them I sent you again. It's prepared.pro for all your professional crisis preparedness assistance. I mean, the government and private corporations are like an armed madhouse building up their weapons, their hardened bunkers against us. We need to get prepared. Okay. I am really excited about having our guest on. And, of course, he's Dr. Joseph Mercola. And he's done so many amazing things. I don't even know here with his bio where to start. But he reaches millions of people every week with his website and his organizations. And so I know he didn't like to toot his own horn, but in a couple minutes, Dr. Mercola, before we launch into all this key information, what's most important for folks to know about you who may not know who you are?
Well, I'm the founder of Mercola.com, which now currently is the third most visited health site in the world. We're right behind the National Institutes of Health and WebMD, and we just passed Mayo Clinic, so we're number 3 in the world, and gives us a platform to really educate people about the fraud and deception that's occurring from the drug industry and the food industry.
And you have made significant milestones in your mission to bring people practical solutions to their health problems. New York Times bestselling author Dr. Mercola was also involved in the 2009 Ultimate Wellness Game Changer by the Huffington Post. and has been featured in Time Magazine, LA Times, CNN, Fox News, you name it. We're honored to have you with us. Again, Mercola, MERCOLA.com. And the reason you're the most respected of all the alternative health researchers, in my opinion, is because you just go off the real research, and there's so much to cover. But what can you say about, I mean, my view, I don't know if it's your view, but certainly from what I see on the ground, there is a collapse of confidence in the system. Everything we talked about last year about the H1N1 lowering your immunity, being dangerous, that's now mainstream news, British Medical Journal. I mean, there is a collapse of confidence in this corrupt system, and the establishment is responding in a lot of strange ways, but it does look like the dam has broken. What's your view on that?
Well, I think we're making progress. There still is a large contingency of the public who is still fooled and deceived by the very effective marketing tactics that these industry employ. I mean, they literally generate many tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars in profit, and they're able to really hire the most sophisticated and clever marketers on the planet. So it's a really sophisticated system, and it's really difficult to break out of that mold. But once you yourself have an injury or the system fails you, then you're really seeking more sound, logical, rational alternatives that really don't rely on expensive and toxic approaches that could literally kill you.
And I see the statistics and the numbers of 300,000 dying from drug interactions, hundreds of thousands from infections. I mean, boy, I tell you, this mainline healthcare is one of the biggest killers out there, rivaling even automobile accidents. On your radar screen, what do you see as the biggest threats out there? Is it sodium fluoride in the water, bisphenol A, GMO, cell phone radiation? I mean, you cover it all. And the stuff, as I said earlier, you were covering 10 years ago is now just all over the mainstream news.
Well, it's a good question. I'm not sure if there's anyone that sticks out. It's really a combination of them, but I think probably it's just the concept and the belief that the traditional model is the approach for healthcare challenges, and that is the relying on a drug. And we're bombarded on that, of course, from the media. They spend over $16 billion a year to do direct-to-consumer advertising on TV. And, you know, the United States is only one of two countries in the world that allows it, where it's even legal. So they've really manipulated the public to the belief system that this is the approach, because these drugs are almost universally going to cause some type of side effect, if not death. I mean, it's routine. I mean, Avandia has just killed 80,000 people. Before that, Vioxx killed 60,000. And these are the ones that we know that are really in the news. I mean, there's dozens of others that are less toxic. So, it's so much. It's choosing that system and that approach, and you're ignoring the basic practical strategies that one can use, which of course doesn't generate profit and revenue for these large industries. So I think it's a belief in that model that's the most dangerous threat. Yeah.
Well, I agree with you, and when I watch these drug ads, it's absurdist. It's like they're openly admitting this drug is probably going to kill you. Oh, you're having trouble sleeping, or you're having trouble, needing to urinate a lot. And they'll tell you 10 seconds how great it is, but then they say it may not be right for you, causes heart attacks, sudden death, brain damage. I mean, it's bizarre. And then ask your doctor about this drug. I mean, it's sometimes I'm pinching myself, wondering if I'm having a bad dream.
It almost seems that way, doesn't it, Alex? It really is. Because you go to any other country in the world, you're not going to see it on TV except for Australia. There's only 2 countries in the world that allow that.
Let's start.
And it really, you look at these, and it's been on for 15 years. But prior to 1995, those ads did not exist in the media. It was illegal. But then they lobbied Congress, and were able to get permission to air those.
Meanwhile, they're always waging war against alternative medicine or even vitamins and minerals. Now they're demonizing, vitamin D. It just gets crazier and crazier.
Well, it wasn't so much a demonizing, but the Institute of Medicine came out with a report last week which really essentially ignored the stacks of new studies and research that that establish vitamin D as a very useful approach, and over 2,000 diseases. And they only focused on bone health, which we've known about for about 100 years, and they ignored all the rest of the research, and virtually no vitamin D experts were on the panel. It was really a travesty. So, it's hard to nail a specific conspiracy, but there's some actually lawsuits against this recommendation because it's really deceiving the public and not allowing them to fully utilize this incredible resource, which is about one of the least expensive vitamins you can possibly purchase, and one that has probably the most significant impact on your health.
Sure, but I mean, by demonized, I was thinking of Dr. Dean Adele, who, I mean, I listened to him, and just almost everything he says is patently false, and he was just flipping out and saying that, it's bad to take most vitamins and that we don't need them. But then I look at all the studies about vitamin and mineral deficiency and what a big problem it is. When we come back, I want to discuss a lot of the articles that are at Mercola.com. Pregnant women should minimize exposure to cell phones. I want to look at that. I want to look at all these reports of different chemicals that are in plastics that we are eating our foods out of, and what that's causing, ways that, from your research, are the best ways to detox, all the thyroid problems. We'll talk about it with Dr. Mercola.
Calling all manufacturers from across the United States. Are you eager to have people buy your products right here at home instead of having them buy competing products made on the other side of the world? Do you want to build your business while helping boost our nation's economy at the same time? Then localmakers.com is the website for you. Our site provides an easy way for manufacturers to connect with customers within their local community as well as across the United States. From the small manufacturer who works out of their home to the large manufacturers across the U.S., localmakers.com connects customers to the closest manufacturer by simply entering their zip code. So if you make your own goods and want to expand your market, go to localmakers.com and put your products on one of our shelves. If you're not a local manufacturer but know someone who is, take advantage of the localmakers.com referral program and earn income by getting others to join. Simply go to localmakers.com and register. There's no cost to join. That's localmakers.com. Visit localmakers.com today.
Is it really possible to get out of debt without payment plans or attorneys? 18 years ago, we developed a program that has made thousands debt-free in just 90 days. It's called Zero Debt in 90 Days, and it works for all credit card debt, medical bills, even collection lawsuits.
When I first joined, I was being sued. So I used the program methods, and after filing one piece of paper, the collection lawsuit was dismissed.
With Zero Debt in 90 days, your success is guaranteed in writing. There is no other program of its kind. Don't be alone when creditors gang up on you. Let our team of experts provide the resources to fight back and stop creditors in only 90 days, guaranteed. Prevent wage garnishments, bank levies, and stop collection calls with our proven program. Call Zero Debt in 90 days now, 800-477-9256, and ask for free information from an expert who also completed our program. 800-477-9256 or ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. 800-477-9256 or ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. In a coming apart world, you need something to keep it tied together. That something is Atwood Rope, the highest quality rope made in the USA, from exotic braids for military, rescue, arborists, shipyards, tow line, or boating. Quality rope at affordable prices you and your customers can depend on. Find a dealer or shop online at atwoodrope.net. Enter promo code RADIO to receive 100 feet of 550 paracord free with purchase. Atwood Rope, working to keep the world tied together.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by